was last week.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you. I've got a bunch. We don't see this in Melbourne. I'm from Australia, you see.
Right.
I never see anti-abortion things anywhere.
So we actually have a society, an abolish human abortion society in, I believe is it Melbourne?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Melbourne.
There's a website on the back here.
Okay.
Here, that website, you can go on there and find local society.
Right.
And there's, I'm trying to think of the name of the lady who runs it.
Georgia Florence.
Okay.
Good knowledge.
Yeah. So what are you familiar with the statistics of abortion?
Not really, no.
Yeah. So here in America, 3,500 children are murdered at the hands of their parents conspiring, with an assassin to have their, child. Typically, this child is 6 to 7 weeks.
Yep.
Most 97% of all abortions happen before 12 weeks. So this week there'll be 23,000 abortions. There's been 58 million.
Wait, worldwide?
No, this is just the U.S.
Right, I thought you said 3,500 a year.
3,500 a day.
A day, okay.
23,000 a week, 58 million since 1973, where it became legal in the United States.
Wow.
So it's, a third, I don't know how old you, late 20s maybe?
Mid-20s.
Mid-20s, okay, sorry. Must be the beard.
Must be the beard. No, I keep getting ID'd everywhere, so.
So a third of your generation is gone.
Wow.
So if you were to just like every third person just kind of do that.
Yeah. Although it might be a bit crowded otherwise. Just in jest.
No. Yeah, someone told me, he goes, the globes, we're overpopulated. I said, you could take everybody in the whole world, and you can put them within about a third of Texas.
Yeah.
Fit them all in there, and they would all have at least I think it was like an acre to themselves.
Right. Well, an acre's not bad.
Yeah. So
7 billion acres in Texas. It's a third of Texas.
It's crazy. So yeah, that one gets debunked pretty quick.
Yeah.
So the reason, are you a Christian?
No.
You're not a Christian?
No.
Okay, so can I ask what you are?
Atheist.
You're an atheist?
I am.
I don't believe you. I don't believe in you.
That's okay. No, I'm just curious about the whole thing. It's always interesting hearing different perspectives and whatnot.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question.
Yep.
Do you know what atheism really is?
Yeah. Well, I think there's a.
Like if you look at the definition of it.
Right. Do not.
You actually have to believe in a God in order to be an atheist, because atheist is the idea that there is no God. But in order for you to have the idea that there is no God, you'd have to believe that there could be a God.
Right.
So let me ask you a question. Could there be a God?
Could there be a God? There could be a God in the same sense that there could be I'll use the old idea, a flying spaghetti monster, just because there's something.
For sure,
there.
that's what.
That's
the standard. Yeah, that's what. Forget his name, not Darwin, but Dawkins.
Anyway.
Richard Dawkins. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Richard Dawkins.
So I would too atheist.
Yeah, Richard Dawkins. No.
So would you say that?
He's religiously atheist.
Well, if you read the Bible, if you go to Romans 1, there's Richard Dawkins.
Right.
Exactly to a T. It explains exactly the Bible. In fact, you look at Richard Dawkins and you read Romans 1.
Yeah.
And you will. I guarantee you, if you're not a Christian, it'll make you think, because that describes Richard Dawkins to a T. Have you ever heard of the? So I would say you're an evolutionist then, right? Is that correct? Okay. So why, or based on what?
Evidence?
Which evidence?
Well, you see, I'm not a scientist, you see, okay. so I don't want to go and proclaim that I know all of these things.
Okay.
But just based on the, I don't think the scientists, 99% believe in? No, it's going to be more than that now. Some certain amount of people actually believe in evolution. I trust them.
So if we evolved, what did we evolve from?
I think we were fish at a point.
Fish.
So yeah, when people say, where do you come from? I like to, you go to Africa and then you pop up before then.
So the way we determine science, the way science works, and the way evolution works, is it needs to be based on facts, factual evidence.
Right.
So there are no fossil records that show that there was any type of transition from a fish into a human. I mean, not even close. Like, not even like a dog into, you know, another 4-footed type thing. In fact, the problem that the problem that Richard Dawkins has or had, it's called the Cambrian explosion. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
So if you look at all the fossil layers, you go down to the fossil layer, like the first evidence of like fossils, you get down to looking at fossils that have vertebrae like that. Like, that's the start. Boom, explosion of fossils. Yeah. And before that, nothing. Absolutely nothing. So
I think there's some stuff there. I don't know. Like, it seems like there's like things which happen here, here, and here, and then the argument is, well, what happens between those? But things keep popping up.
No, but this was the thing. In fact, Darwin actually said, "This is my problem that I have no answer for."
Right.
So so what they end up having to do is they have to then
extrapolate from the data.
They have to go from millions of years. No, actually they went from thousands of years to millions of years, and then millions of years to billions of years.
Yeah.
And again, the problem is there is no evidence, and if we're going to be honest with ourselves and say, I'm basing this on science and I'm basing this on facts, you would actually have to have more faith that there isn't a God because there is no evidence versus the evidence that there is a God, that there is evidence that Jesus did die, resurrect, and ascended to God the Father. There's witnesses of all the miracles that he performed.
Long time ago. Not very documented.
Well, let me ask you this. Tires on the car.
Yes.
Why aren't they square?
Why aren't they square?
Why aren't they square?
Because round tires
because it's
designed better.
Someone intelligent designed it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I'm intelligent.
I would say you're intelligent. You look intelligent. You talk intelligent. Would you say that someone...
The beard bespoke intelligence.
Would you say that we're intelligent?
Sure, yes.
Okay. So whoever created that car was intelligent.
Yes.
So in order for us to be intelligent, you know, as advanced as we are, we would have had to have an intelligent creator. I mean, just to go poof out of thin air.
Right. So do you not think dogs are intelligent, or
I think they're subhuman for sure. Absolutely subhuman.
Right.
In fact, the Bible even says, "I've created man," and God says, "I'll create man in my image, in the image of God." So that's why we are the race, the leading race. God had have dominion over the animals and the birds and the fish of the sea. There is no other creature. I mean, there's no fossil records to support a Cro-Magnon. You know, now there is things that are called like macro evolution, aka adaptation.
Right.
People
so
adapt.
Similar like in
but if you look at you look at an Asian child, or an African American child, or an Australian child, or from wherever, they're all going to look the same. They have 2 eyes, they have 2 ears, they have a nostril, they have teeth, they have a mouth, they have 2 arms, 5 fingers, or 4 fingers and 2 thumbs, and so we are created in his image. So we've never been different. Same with dogs. If you look at dogs, you see different kinds of dogs, but they're all the same species. And scientists will tell you this. You look at the DNA evidence, they have all the same chromosomes. Just like humans, we have all the same chromosomes. Dogs are different. Cats, you can never take a cat and make something good. You have different kinds.
It seems like I would say evolution is built in. And you get a mule, and then mules can't breed.
So,
a horse. I know it could be argued for either thing. Okay, I better get back to dinner.
Okay.
What's the webcam things for? Just out of curiosity.
A couple things. One is it allows us to make sure we're not talking gibberish.
Right.
It provides protection. There are a lot of people that are very pro-abortion.
Yes.
And sadly, when I say a third of this generation is gone, that means we have 2 parents that paid a man to have their child murdered.
Yeah.
So they have that, if they don't have Christ in them, who can remove that pain, who can make them new, who can renew them. God, Christ says, you need to be born again to be adopted into the kingdom. These people walk around with this guilt, and they have no way of carrying this this guilt. Look at the amount of psychotic medication that is out there.
In America, there's a lot. Not so much in Australia.
Yeah.
You guys, you get doctors are a bit prescription happy, it seems.
It's I don't know what it is in Australia. I know in Europe it's pretty high too. But America, we are doped up to.
You guys got to do it well.
Doped up to the max. Yeah. So that's what they cure it with that instead of actually dealing with the core problem, coming to terms that I'm a disaster. I can't save myself. If I die in my sins, I will go to hell.
Yeah.
I believe in a soul. I believe every person has a soul, and that soul is owned by the Almighty God. And when we leave this earth, we are either going to be with Him or we're going to be in eternal separation from Him.
Okay.
But He gave us a way out. He sent His only Son to save us, to redeem us from our wickedness, our depravity. If you look at us, we make bad decisions. Look what people do. The wars, the killing. We're depraved. Yeah. And we're only getting worse. We're only getting worse. I mean, if you honestly look at it, 6 million Jews died in World War II at Hitler's hand. 58 million just in America in 42 years. We've legalized the sacrifice of our own children. Scientists will say, this is a child. Scientists will say, at the moment of conception, life begins.
Right, in a sense. I mean, I was just like, week 24 is the date where you can. It's legal up to week 24, I believe.
In some places, it
changes a little around.
It depends. It depends on the legislation. But at no point, scientist says that's a human at conception. If you found an embryo, on Mars,
I mean, excited about that.
It's illegal to kill. It's illegal to kill a bald eagle. It's illegal to kill a bald eagle here.
Well, they're endangered, right? Humans.
Humans.
Of them. Too many.
But are we not?
Sorry, now I'm taking.
So let me ask you a question. Would it be okay to?
I think my dinner's on the table.
Okay. Would it be okay to kill one of those that are already born? One of those children?
Well, if they murdered someone, it would be okay to kill them.
At 2 years old?
In America, it seems like. Who was the last? Like 15? Anyway, sorry.
So think about that and yes. read Romans 1. You got a smartphone, I assume.
I do.
Download the Bible. Read Romans 1, and then think about Dawkins.
All right.
All right. Thank you.